I heard there was this podcast, yo, about something funny like wrestling and so. And you really care about wrestling, don't you? There are drop kicks and leases all over the board, and then something called a wrestling hold. It's a super duper fun podcast about wrestling. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. Well, Fro and Bill and maybe a guest or two is here to hold your hand and guide you through a podcast about wrestling. We have a lot of extreme fun, and that's without the gun, because I needed something to rhyme fun with. That wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show. Well, sit your behinds gently down and listen to our podcast sound, and try to guess this week's pro question. You win a lot of cool things, and also help Bill with his bills. That's a super duper fun competition. That wrestling show. 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 That wrestling show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to this, the final episode of the year for That Wrestling Show. 2018 is on its way out, and this week we're going to wrap up the year as only Fro and I can do, talking about the TLC pay-per-view and talking about the year that it was in the world of professional wrestling. And Fro, I think part of me is going to be happy that this year is over.
Especially with this pay-per-view. Jesus, mother of Christ.
Wow. Boy, are we going to be different on this one. And another part of me is like, I'm going to miss part of the year. We do have some news. Not a lot of news, because I mean, we're getting right into the holiday season. You know, we're heading towards the end. So, let's just jump into some news right now. Ring of Honor, they've been making some signings here and there the last couple of weeks. But this signing that they made over the weekend might be their biggest one to date.
Okay.
There is a wrestler named Bandito who has had a hell of a year for wrestling. He's this is his breakout year. And if you didn't get a chance to see him or didn't get a chance to watch him a lot, he was in the main event at All In. He's really good.
Yeah, he's really good. I watched All In now, so
well,
it was a good pay-per-view.
In 2019, you will get to see Bandito more as he has signed with Ring of Honor.
Cool.
I think that's a very good pickup for Ring of Honor because they signed Cobb, which we talked about a while back.
Right.
PCO.
Yeah.
Brody King, and then they signed Mark Haskins, a British wrestler. That went a little under the radar, but they did sign him. And now to have Bandito, that's a good pickup, I think, for Ring of Honor. Very good pickup. So, way to go.
I can't wait to talk about the pay-per-view. I can't believe that you liked it.
I have my reasons. I have my reasons.
I can't believe I saw part of it.
The ratings from this week's Raw went up tremendously from the last
I'm not
several
surprised.
weeks. I have the hour by hour numbers in front of me. They did for hour number 1 2,717,000 viewers, which is up almost 400,000 viewers from last week. They had 2,588,000, which was up over 400,000 in hour number 2 from last week. And the final hour, which a little bit of a spoiler alert because we will talk about Raw, was the women's gauntlet match. They went up 2,367,000. Significant from
going up like 2 million plus is like whoa.
well,
That is some people.
But it just goes to show that even today, Vince McMahon is still
It's a draw, yeah.
Yeah, he is still a draw.
Mm-hmm.
So,
full of admission, I did not see Raw at all. I saw some parts of it. I saw that they made Corbin wrestle. Who was it?
He wrestled like 4 guys this week.
Yeah. The Authority came out and made a match, I saw.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into all that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Other news, if you guys are getting money for Christmas and maybe you want to go on a cruise, well, Chris Jericho announced yesterday that he will be doing another Jericho Cruise in 2019.
It was quite a success. So.
Yeah, it was, from what I had heard. Details to come out in January. So we will get that in the upcoming weeks, so we'll let you guys know. And one thing that I'm really looking forward to early in 2019, Access TV, you guys know, is the current home of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And it will be airing, starting in 2019, Women of Wrestling.
Yeah, I saw this. This is a really good news.
And they have the official date and time for the first episode. So you're going to want to mark this date down. It will air Friday, January the 18th at 9 p.m.
Will you watch it?
Yes. I will at least watch the first episode.
Yeah. Just to see how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe the second one, because, you know, my theory is, this has just developed over the last several years for me, is the first episode's not always going to be the best episode. That's something that I've learned over the years. Give it a couple of episodes and then see where it goes from there. So, hopefully I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good stuff.
It will be interesting.
Yes, it will. All right, I'm not going to make Fro wait any longer. We're going to jump right into the TLC pay-per-view because there's other stuff that I do want to talk about, but it's going to take a lot. So let's just do this pay-per-view right now. So yeah. We had,
I saw the pre-show.
Yeah, the pre-show was interesting because they had 2 matches.
Yes.
Instead of 1.
Yes. One really good match and one really
bad
match.
Oh yeah, there was one of the 2 pre-show matches. Yeah, there was one good and one that was very gimmicky.
Yes.
So
just say it mildly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for those of you listening for the first time, welcome. And what we do is we talk about the match, we give a little bit of a description, and we give our rating, and then we tell you what some of the quote-unquote experts thought of those respective matches, which includes Dave Meltzer, the people from CBS Sports, and the people from ESPN. Because, you know, CBS Sports and ESPN, yeah. So, they managed a good way to figure out how to do 12 matches in this show that's not a WrestleMania by doing 2 matches in a pre-show.
Yeah.
Which,
I was happy that they did that because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I was glad they did that too, because I think if they had put one of these on the main show, I think it would have gone just a wee bit longer than it did, and it probably would have killed the momentum for this show. So our first pre-show match for the Cruiserweight title, Cedric Alexander challenging Buddy Murphy. And Fro, I will let you start this off.
Yeah, no, this was a really good match. I really liked this match. This was entertainment from the beginning. I think I liked it even better because I didn't have any expectations for it.
Right.
But Murphy is gotten better.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was the best of their matches. I don't know if you agree or not.
Ooh. I might have to respectfully disagree. I thought the one they had in Australia was a much better match.
Was better, yeah.
But this was a good match.
Yeah.
This was a good match.
It felt pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of sad that the division doesn't get a bigger push than being on the pre-show. It's kind of sad when they still have 205 Live and don't really talk about it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. If you watched the pre-show at Survivor Series, they made a big deal about how their title match was on that pay-per-view.
Right.
And then 1 month later, it gets put right in the pre-show.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
And that's why I would switch it with some other match during the main show. But it was okay.
Right.
To have it on the pre-show. I just think that they have to decide to either push 205 Live or like let it die.
Yeah. And the way that these matches have been these last several months, it's got me thinking that they're going to be on the main show on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because, you got one coming up in about 6 weeks called the Royal Rumble. Maybe you want to...
Never heard of it.
Want to spotlight the Cruiserweight division on that one?
Yeah. Royal Rumble? Never heard of it.
No, I enjoyed this match. I thought the match that they had in Australia was a better one, but this was still a good match. I gave this a B.
Oh, I gave this a B+.
All right. Meltzer gave it 3.5 stars.
I was laughing because I know what's next. Yes.
CBS Sports also gave it a B+.
Mm-hmm.
And ESPN doesn't cover pre-shows.
No.
Because they're a bunch of...
Let me just start, before we talk about the next match.
Yeah, please.
I love Carmella and R-Truth. They are funny. But what the fuck was this match?
Well, hold on. We got one other pre-show match that we got.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You jumped the gun there a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
The ladder match, quote-unquote ladder match, Elias against Bobby Lashley.
So bad.
And I felt like they changed it up because I think the original rule was the first to retrieve it can use the guitar.
Can use it, yeah.
Here, it's the first person that just gets the guitar wins.
Right.
So they changed it the day of, and I didn't really like that.
But it was such like I saw that this was on the pre-show and I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
It didn't give me anything.
There's really nothing much to talk about. Lio Rush tried to get involved. Elias won the match. Then after the match, Lashley hit Elias with his guitar.
Yeah.
I gave this a C+.
Wow, I gave this a D-.
I might have to bump it down a bit and just give it a C. I think, I'm going to give it a C.
Okay, I gave this a D-.
Oh, jeez.
But it's not because of Elias. It's definitely not because of Elias. Because he can wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
But the other one, nope.
Plus, they didn't really get a lot of time for that match.
No.
Like, I was looking at it, and they got, 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So, I did another Digital Citizen yesterday, and I talked a little about this pre-show match that, and looks like, I heard it was a shit show. And then I decided to watch rest of TLC today!
Good. Well, let's get the ratings real quick. Meltzer gave that match 2 stars, and CBS Sports gave it a C-.
Mm-hmm. This has been the first pay-per-view I've seen in a while. It felt weird watching wrestling when...
You skipped Survivor Series, didn't you?
Yeah, and I have not watched wrestling either, other than Impact.
All right, so now we get to the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Now we get to our opening match of the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Which is, by the way, the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge.
I like that they put it first, at least.
It had to go first.
Get the gimmick out of the way. But it's like... And again, I love R-Truth, I love Carmella, but what the fuck was this? This was absolutely nothing. I love both R-Truth and Carmella's wrestling styles as well. But
they make an entertaining pair.
Oh, they do, but this was just nothing.
So they fought Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
And this
2 people that can't wrestle.
This whole match from the get-go was very gimmicky.
Oh, so gimmicky.
Very gimmicky. And here's the sad thing, now that I'm thinking about it. Do you remember what the finals was of the first season of Mixed Match Challenge?
No.
Okay.
I think it was on the top of my head. I wasn't it the Miss and what is her name? I have it on the top of my tongue.
Well, you have it. It is
Asuka.
Yeah,
Asuka.
Miz and Asuka.
But who were they against? I don't remember.
Okay, they were against Bobby Roode and Charlotte.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So this is a big downgrade from the finals of the first season. If you think about it.
Yes and no, because R-Truth and Carmella can wrestle.
Yeah, I mean Carmella's getting better.
Yeah.
And R-Truth has found the fountain of youth. Because he's like in his early 50s and he's still going like this.
Yeah. No, he looks like he's 20 again.
Yeah. End of the match, Carmella got a head scissors submission on Alicia Fox, forced her to tap out. And R-Truth and Carmella win the mixed match challenge. More importantly, however, they will both enter their respective Royal Rumble matches at number 30. Which is, to me, the bigger deal.
I think it's a bigger deal for Carmella than R-Truth. R-Truth will never win the Royal Rumble.
At least
I think Carmella. I think Carmella definitely has a shot.
Although, I have an idea. I have a booking idea. And I hope they do this. I really do. So let's say they do the men's Royal Rumble match first. And then the women's second. So for the men's Royal Rumble match, R-Truth never comes out. Okay? He never comes out. Then when we get to the women and number 30 comes up, he's going to come out with Carmella thinking that he's in their Royal Rumble match.
That would be funny.
That'd be great. But we did get a funny post-match interview where, if you do remember, the team that won...
This was good.
This was funny. They got to pick any place they want to go in the whole world.
And in the whole world, where would you go?
All right, let me ask you that, Fro. And I'm being totally serious here.
Okay.
If you had to pick one place to go anywhere in the world, all expenses paid, where would you go?
Jeez. African safari to see giraffes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would go to Poland to see my family's ancestry.
Wow.
So
I was going to make a really bad taste joke there.
You say my mom, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, so back to this. Carmella thinks, we're going to go to, like Rio. We're going to go to the, the Bahamas. We're going to go somewhere. And R-Truth's like, nope. We're going to WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut.
What was this? Why? Why the headquarters? So stupid. Everywhere in the world. Why there?
But it's R-Truth.
Oh.
God bless that man. Those skits are going to be funny.
I love it. I love it. It's going to be funny. And they saved this pay-per-view because from now on I am not going to be happy.
I gave the match a D+.
Oh, it's a D.
Okay. But the post-match segment is like an A for me. I
yes.
enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. A+. But the match was silly.
Oh yeah. Meltzer gave this match 1.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
CBS Sports gave it a C minus, and ESPN gave it 1 3/4 out of 5.
Mm.
So
yeah, but before we continue, me and Luke, we covered this show called 1984 on Netflix. It's a Polish TV show with really, it's a depressing in its colors and things like that. And I was watching the rest of this paper and I was thinking, one of my biggest problems with WWE booking is so clear in the rest of the matches, because I think the matches themselves were okay, most of them, but booking wise, this is a weird pay-per-view.
Yeah, there are some weird moments.
Oh, especially.
Next match, triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. New Day, Usos, and the champs Cesaro and Sheamus.
And this was weirdly bad.
It was weird, but it did get. I thought it got better.
But the problem is that I've seen this match 6,684 times before,
right?
In some way, and I'm so tired. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm so tired seeing the same thing again and again and again and again. And this felt like every pay-per-view in the last 6 months. It's either been a faction of those three teams against each other, making them wrestle against each other. It doesn't make any difference at all.
The problem
I've seen this so many times.
The problem is for some reason they don't trust the other tag teams, and they got
Right?
good tag teams there.
Yeah, and why is it always those three tag teams? They are good tag teams. I have nothing against them. Cesaro and Sheamus has been tremendous champions, but I'm so fed up seeing them against those two teams because I've seen it 6,668 other times.
The weird thing is with this match,
So depressed.
anytime the New Day and the Usos face each other,
Yeah.
you know they're going to have a good match.
Yeah.
Anytime the New Day and Cesaro and Sheamus face each other, you know they're going to have a good match.
Yep.
Anytime the Usos face Cesaro and Sheamus, you know they're going to have a good match.
Yep.
But yet here,
It didn't work.
it wasn't. I was a little disappointed. I mean, not completely disappointed as another match later on. When we get to,
I think I know which one. Yes. But it did, and that's what I meant about what I said. I'm going to be negative about this pay-per-view. It's just that I've seen this a billion times. I'm so fucking tired of this. It feels trite, and they have had better matches.
Right.
I gave this a D minus.
wow. I actually gave this a B.
Okay.
It like I said, it got better along the way, but this one could have been better. Meltzer gave this 3.25 stars. CBS Sports gave it a B plus, and ESPN gave it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Now, next match, and this one I was really surprised at how early in the show this was on.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin against Braun Strowman in a TLC match. You guys all know the stipulations. We're not going to go through them. So Corbin is in the ring. Heath Slater is the referee for the match. So Heath is ordered to count Braun out. So he gets to 7, and that's when Braun comes out. So Braun is in a sling, as you could clearly see. So he gets on the mic, and he gets on the apron. And he reminds Baron that this is a no disqualification match, which is true because it's a TLC match. So Braun says, anybody in the back that wants to get involved in this match, be my guest. Well, we see Apollo Crews on the outside with a steel chair. We see Bobby Roode and Chad Gable on the outside with chairs. We see Finn Balor on the outside with a chair. So they all get in the ring, and they start going after Baron. Heath Slater takes his shirt off, and he goes after Baron. And Baron rolls outside, and he's trying to get away. Well, all of a sudden, here comes Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle comes, and he's beating on Baron Corbin. So Baron goes back in the ring. It's now a 5-on-1 situation. And everybody did all their finishing moves. Heath went to put his shirt on. Baron went over the top rope. He put one foot on Corbin. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman wins. Baron Corbin no longer the general manager of Raw.
I'm happy about that, but this match was nothing.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, what were they going to do with a one-armed man?
I know, but this was nothing. This was nothing. This is what I'm talking about. It's the booking of this. It's the booking of this that I didn't like. I did not like it. I told the story. I just didn't like the story.
I think WWE knew going into this, once they heard that Braun was not going to be medically cleared, they were like, okay, we have to figure out another way out of this. And to me, it made perfect sense to use the guys that Baron has basically humiliated the last several months to help Braun get the win. So, I gave this a C+.
Yeah, not surprised. I'm going to give this a D-. This is the D- pay-per-view.
Meltzer gave this 1 star.
Yeah.
CBS Sports gave it a C+. And ESPN did not give it a rating at all.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not. Next match, Natalya against Ruby Riott in a tables match.
This was the only match that I really wanted to see.
This was an enjoyable match.
Yeah, I really like this match. This is maybe the match of the night for me.
I liked how, I'll be honest, I enjoyed how everybody got used in this match.
Oh, definitely.
And it made each person significant in this. So, Liv Morgan is the first one to go through the table. And when she goes through the table, when she's on the floor, you could hear her breathing. She's like, It sounded like she was giving birth or something.
I liked it.
And then Sarah got taken out at one point. Natalya is fighting for her family, and she actually called Ruby Riott a bitch at one point, which was really good. And they brought out the table with Jim Neidhart on it, which, like I said, I thought was a good, good plot for a story. And then Natalya goes out, and she gets a table, and Ruby Riott is on the table. Which was a really good answer to Jim Neidhart. It was a good match. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I liked the setup of the match. I thought, like I said, I thought everybody was used really good, and I liked the ending with Natalya getting over. You sort of knew Natalya was going to win that match.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
I gave it a B minus.
Oh, I give this a B plus.
All right. Meltzer gave this 2 stars. CBS Sports gave it a B plus, and ESPN rated this 2 out of 5.
Cool.
Next match is Drew McIntyre against Finn Balor. It was good at some points.
Nah.
I wasn't too big of a fan of Ziggler getting involved, but I understood why he got involved.
Yeah. Like I don't like the interfering here. It's not necessary. I understand that it's to keep the storyline going on, but it's just like, as a casual viewer, I don't really care about this. They can do building on a Raw pay-per-view. I hate it. No, on a normal Raw. I mean, not on a pay-per-view. I hate it when they do like storytelling for Raw on the pay-per-view. It's not. It does. You don't have to do it. You don't have to build for an audience that you already have.
Balor would eventually get the win with the coup de grace. I like this match for the most part. I gave it a B minus.
I gave this a D plus.
All right. Meltzer gave this 3 1/4 star. CBS Sports gave it a B, and ESPN gave it 3 1/4 out of 5. Next match was Randy Orton against Rey Mysterio in a chairs match.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, this was Fro really tried not to fall asleep match. This was Randy Orton proves again that he's the worst fucking wrestler in the world match. It was, oh my god, I feel sorry for that little tweet match. It's please Randy Orton quit match.
Now, you gotta admit though,
What must I admit?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. Okay.
The spot where Mysterio used the chair as like a sled going out of the ring face first. That was a good spot.
That was a really good spot.
That was
all of Rey Mysterio is okay in this match. It's not his fault that he has to wrestle a big piece of shit.
I want to read a sentence from Meltzer's review of this match.
Okay.
And I think you will agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
This really felt like a bad hardcore indie match, except what they actually did was higher class, but it was the long setups and trying to get heat from repeated chair shots.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He compared this to a bad hardcore indie match.
No, but I totally get it. But it's not Rey Mysterio's fault. It is that fucking tweed of a man, Randy Orton. I can't wait for the day he stops wrestling. I'm going to celebrate it as Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's. It's just like, Randy Snorton.
Ray got the win with a roll-up.
Mm-hmm.
I gave this a B minus.
Yeah, you can guess what I gave it. A C.
Oh, a C. Okay. Meltzer gave this 1.5 stars.
Yeah.
CBS Sports gave it a B plus, And ESPN gave this 3 3/4 out of 5.
Wow!
Whoa, that's a bit high there.
Wow! How much did Randy Orton pay for that?
Alright. Next match, the Raw Women's title, Nia Jax challenging Ronda Rousey.
Okay. You have to explain for me why. I feel bad for Ronda Rousey in this match. Is it that she can't, and I'm not, what's her opponent's name again?
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. Is it that Nia Jax can't wrestle? Or is it that Ronda Rousey is too new to have such a big woman in the ring? Because this did not click for me at all.
Really? Wow.
It felt so strange to watch this match. I felt uncomfortable watching this. It was like an amateur against even a bigger amateur. And I have nothing but respect for Ronda Rousey, and I think she did a tremendous work, but this did not work for me.
Now, I was thinking about it while watching the match.
Mm.
The first match that the two of them had at Money in the Bank was a really good match.
Mm.
This one was a notch below, but I thought it was still a good match.
Mm.
It was shorter, it was quicker. I thought it felt a little different, but I thought it was good. But I understand where you were coming from.
Mm. I think my main problem is just that if you are going to do something big with those two women, and I don't mean big in a bad way, I mean like big match.
Names.
Yes. It just felt like this was wrestling hall and I'm thinner than you match. Because it's like Ronda Rousey hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting, and Nia Jax like receiving and sometimes do a cool move. I did not like this. I really did not understand the build-up for this, and I wish I got it. But for me, it felt like there was something incredibly wrong with this match.
Ronda retains with the armbar.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a B.
I gave this a D- again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Meltzer gave this 3 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave this an A-.
Whoa.
And ESPN gave it 3
A-?
An A-.
Wow.
Yeah. And ESPN gave it 3 3/4 out of 5.
Mm.
Next match, and this was, at least for our fans, or some of our fans, the controversial match of the night. AJ Styles challenging Daniel Bryan for the WWE title.
Oh, I love Daniel Bryan as a heel. I'm so happy to see Daniel Bryan as a heel. he works as a heel.
Oh, tremendously.
But I can understand why this is controversial.
I loved this match.
I really love this match.
I loved this match.
Yeah, this is my favorite match of the night.
I think you and I know the one person who... Well, he even said it on our group that he didn't like the match.
Right.
So if you're listening, you know who you are.
Right. Now this is actually my favorite match of the night. This worked so good.
Gosh, it was great. Great
Yeah.
storytelling, just great wrestling,
Yeah.
all around. And it just seemed like everything was smooth the whole way. And the way that Daniel won the match, he didn't cheat to win. He beat AJ
Fair and square.
Yeah, fair and square in the middle of the ring with a small package to get the victory. And I thought, what a great way to win the match, you know? I enjoyed the hell out of this match. I gave this an A.
I gave this an A as well.
Meltzer gave this...
I think it's funny that we agree on this.
Yeah. Meltzer gave this 4 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave this an A. And ESPN gave it 4 3/4 out of 5.
But that's not that I don't understand that people think it's controversial, because letting AJ Styles as one of their biggest faces lose is kind of a strange thing to do. But I see so much they can do with the storyline, and it's not over by any means.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, especially with this new regime. You know. So after that, we go to, I think it's fair to say, the match that was the most anticipated going into this. Seth Rollins.
Going into
Seth Rollins defending the Intercontinental title against Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
This was the most anticipated match.
Yeah.
And it disappointed.
It disappointed big time.
I don't know what went wrong.
No, me neither. I really don't get it, because both of them are some of my favorite wrestlers. But
And they can
I
do
think
good matches.
yeah, and they can do good matches. But I think maybe it is that they like each other a little too much. Like they have a relationship out of the ring, and you could kind of see that their chemistry were as friends and not like friends and foes.
Right.
And I think that kind of split into what they were doing, because I didn't buy it. I didn't buy that they hated each other. It felt like two friends wrestling.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
The end of the match, Seth went to go for the curb stomp. Ambrose was able to reverse it, hit Dirty Deeds, and Dean Ambrose, the new Intercontinental Champion. I gave this a C+.
I gave this a D+.
All right. Meltzer gave this 3 stars. CBS Sports gave it a B+, and ESPN gave it 3 1/4 out of 5.
Okay.
So now we go to the main event of this pay-per-view. The triple threat TLC match for the SmackDown Women's title, Becky Lynch defending against Asuka and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I am going to guess that you really liked this match.
I did.
And this was your match of the night?
Actually, AJ and Daniel is my match of the night.
Okay.
Not by much.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people really enjoy this match. I don't know why this didn't work for me. I'm I'm actually going to say that I was a little surprised when I watched all the glory online for this match, and I was like, is it only me that didn't like this match? And everybody like, yeah, pretty much pretty much everybody's like, yeah, this was a really good match. But for me, I think they played their card with Asuka too many times. And I also didn't want Flair to win again.
Right.
Because that's also something they did again. And I feel like it's three good individual wrestlers that wrestled a good match, but when they put it together, I didn't feel it. I can't explain it in another way than I just didn't feel it. I didn't get engaged by this, and I'm a big lover of TLC, and especially this concept should have worked for me, but somehow it didn't.
Right. I mean, there were some good moments in this match. When Becky jumped off the ladder onto the German announce table, she bounced off of Charlotte, like literally bounced, which I couldn't believe because I've never seen anyone bounce off another person the way that she did. I'm not saying it was like the biggest bounce of all time, but just the way she bounced was very, very interesting. It was exciting. Charlotte doing that somersault flip off the top rope was a good spot.
Yeah, like I said, I think individually they all had a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have seen, and it's from a couple people who had any complaint about this match, was the ending. But the ending makes sense, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Because Ronda Rousey comes out, and she tips the ladder that Charlotte and Becky are both on, and they both hit the top rope, so it, for the most part, knocks them out. And Asuka's the only one left, and she goes and she grabs the title. And Asuka wins.
Yeah.
And it's like you and I said when we did last week's show. We both wanted Asuka to win. We just didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I was extremely happy. To a point. Because this felt like booking again. And I think the ending kind of, it smelled like WrestleMania booking. Because I think we will get either Becky Lynch against Ronda Rousey or maybe a three-way with Charlotte against Ronda Rousey.
Becky.
Yeah. And I don't really... I think it was smart of them to give us Asuka, because then a heel can win the Royal Rumble. I think the odds for Carmella winning the Royal Rumble went really, really down, sadly, by Asuka winning. But it is going to be interesting to see who wins the Women's Royal Rumble now. I have some ideas, but...
what grade did you give this match?
I gave this a C-.
Alright. I gave this an A.
Right. That's what I've seen that people love this. It's
But I understand where you were coming from, because I know for me there are some days where it's like why did you like this match? Like, everyone praises it, and it just might not have been your day,
Yeah.
And that's understandable. Maybe
Yeah.
in 6 months, if you ever watch the match again, maybe you'll have a different thought.
Oh yeah. Could be.
Meltzer gave this 4.5 stars. CBS Sports gave this an A+.
Whoa.
And ESPN gave it 4 3/4 out of 5.
Okay.
Now, I want to add on to what you said about the ending, because you said it felt very WrestleMania.
Yeah. Booking wise, so.
I think you're on the right track. Because I believe from the different reports that I've read, look, because the original plan for the main event of WrestleMania was going to be Ronda against Charlotte.
Right.
Then Becky had her nose broken. And then it became, it's going to be Ronda versus Becky at WrestleMania.
Right.
After the ending to this event, I really would not be surprised if
Of a three-way.
of those three. Or
that's what it looks like.
Or if you really want to up the ante, they probably won't, but if you really want to up the ante, make it a 4-way. Put Asuka in the mix.
But would both of the titles be...
That'd be the only way Asuka would be involved.
Right.
Because I couldn't see... Okay, because like you said, whoever wins the Women's Royal Rumble, well, it's not necessarily that it could be, a heel. I mean, Becky could be in it and she could win the Royal Rumble.
That's what I'm thinking is the most plausible. I think Becky will win the Royal Rumble. It looks like that. I think WWE has finally understood what a great heel they have in Becky Lynch. A little too late, but I think they are on the wave. Becky Lynch made herself into one of the greatest heels WWE has had. And it shouldn't work on paper. I didn't think she was going to be a great heel, to be honest with you. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm happy I was wrong.
Yeah. So, let's look at our Facebook group, because I only asked to grade the pay-per-view, not the matches, because we had a lot to put up this week.
Right.
And it's actually a split between a C and a D grade.
Yeah.
However, a couple people gave this a B, and a couple people gave this an A. I'm gonna give this a B. I enjoyed the show.
Okay. Oh, this is hard. I think I will vote for a C.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem there. I mean, we're all entitled to our opinion. Sorry. We're all entitled to our opinion, and, that's how we liked it. So, I want to briefly go into Raw from Monday night.
Right.
Real briefly. Because they came on, and it's like, there's going to be no more general managers on Raw.
You are the general manager.
Yeah, you have the authority now.
I read that.
We have not done a good job listening to you guys as of late. That is going to change. We are going to do new matches. You're going to have new faces. each and every week, blah, 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 blah. And to be fair, Fro, I knew it wasn't going to happen that night. To be fair. Because that would have meant you'd have to have somebody, or more than one, be there that night to make their debut. So it's like you're going to waste somebody's debut 2 weeks basically before the calendar year is over. And one of our Facebook members actually asked the question, what grade would you give this week's Raw? Not a lot of people voted, which I understand. I gave this a C, and I'm going to tell you why I gave it a C. Because if you were expecting right away all these changes to happen that night, you are mistaken. These changes are going to take a period of time. It's not going to be done just like that. It's going to take time. I think, well, the next 2 episodes of Raw are taped. The one that's going to come up this Monday, Christmas Eve, it's already in the can. They've already filmed the episode. But because we are a spoiler-free show, we're not going to spoil anything that happens. So if you want to watch Raw on Christmas Eve, by all means, be my guest. And then the following week, New Year's Eve, it's going to be taped as well.
Wow. Where is it taped from?
Detroit.
Okay.
So to me, the real change that they had, that they said Monday night isn't going to really start until the first show of the new year. And that's going to be tough considering you did this opening and your next 2 episodes are taped, and this one, oh, by the way, is going up opposite the national championship game of college football. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, Fro, but here it's a big deal. So I think if they're going to make these changes like they're saying, it has to start on the first live Raw of the new year. That's when it has to start.
Right.
Plus,
do you think they will mention it in the shows that are airing at Christmas and New Year's?
That they're taped?
Yeah.
Usually they don't say that they're taped.
No?
But you could... I think most fans are pretty smart to figure out that it's...
Do you know the results of the shows already?
For Christmas Eve, I do.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say what they were here.
Okay. I will ask you. I will ask you after we have stopped recording, so you can spoil it for me, so I don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Not that I would anyway, but
right. No, I understand. But they did show some new talent that are going to be on their way. Lars Sullivan, which we've seen for about the last month.
Happy about that.
Lacey Evans, who was in the first Mae Young Classic tournament.
Even more happy about that.
EC3. Really? I think that's the big deal right there of the groups of this group that's coming up. Heavy Machinery is coming up.
Okay.
And Nikki Cross is coming up.
Can't wait.
So I think of the women, I think Nikki is going to have the bigger impact. However, in the short term, Lacey is going to be the bigger star because of her looks.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long run, it's going to be Nikki. That's going to be the bigger star, I think.
Definitely.
All right. Let's talk about this now because we're not going to be on next week. In 2 weeks, it is Wrestle Kingdom 13 in the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan.
Wrestle Kingdom? Never heard of this. What is this? Is this a small little indie pay-per-view?
No, my friend.
No, I'm so looking forward to this.
So I have the card in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do our predictions today because we're not going to be on next week. And I'm going to say, before we even get into this, there are some big names that are not on the main show, and it surprises me.
We're going to have a Royal Rumble before the pay-per-view, so maybe some of them will show up there.
Alright, so the last several years, the pre-show match for Wrestle Kingdom has been the Battle Royal.
Yeah, the Battle Royal.
This year, it has changed.
Really?
It has. It will be a 5-team gauntlet match with the winning team being the number 1 contenders for the never open-weight 6-man tag team titles.
Wow. Does that mean that they're not going to have the Battle Royal?
Nope, no Battle Royal this year.
Aww.
I know.
That's kind of sad.
So, here are the 5 teams that are involved in this. We have team number 1, Ryosuke Taguchi, Toru Yano, and Toji Makabe. Team number 2, Dave Finlay, Jeff Cobb, and Michael Elgin. Team 3, Chucky T, Beretta, and Hiroki Goto. Team 4, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Lance Archer, and Minoru Suzuki. And Team 5, Marty Scurll, Yujiro Takahashi, and Hangman Page.
I want to see Team 5 winning.
I'm going to go with team number 4.
Okay.
Smith, Archer, and Suzuki. But it's tough. It's a tough pick. Hold on, I got to blow my nose real quick.
And I will make a joke here. At least he's getting something blown. Did you hear the joke?
Yeah, I heard it.
So funny.
And no, that's not getting edited out, folks. We do it raw. Alright, now, to the actual pay-per-view. The opening match of this pay-per-view. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Never openweight title. Kota Ibushi defending against Will Ospreay.
Wow. How is this the opening match?
The opening match!
Wow. Oh, this is hard. Oh, I like both of them.
I do too.
Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's going to be Ospreay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I will go against you just for the fun of it. I think it's pretty open.
Yeah, it's open. It's very open. There's no closed case, closed door in that one.
Oh.
Then we have a 3-way match for the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. The champs, Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado, defend against the winners of the Super Junior Tag League, Yo and Sho, and Bushi and Shingo Takagi.
I think I will go with team number 2.
That would be Sho and Yo.
Yeah, because they won the tournament.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on this one. Although I really want Shingo and Bushi to win, I think it's going to be Shingo.
Yeah.
Match 3 for the Rev Pro British Heavyweight title. This is from the Rev Pro promotion over in England. Tomohiro Ishii defending the title against Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, I love Zack Sabre Jr. I'm going to say him.
Well, he had that fantastic match at Final Battle last week.
Love him.
I'm going to go Zack Sabre on this one.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite wrestlers right now.
Oh, yeah. Then we have another three-way match. This one is for the IWGP Tag Team titles. The Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, will defend against the winners of the World Tag League Tournament, Sonata and Evil, and also involved the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson.
I'm going to stay with the champs.
Let's see, I've predicted 3 title changes so far. You know what? For the sake of, not picking a new champion in every match, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say the Gorillas hold on to the titles.
I mean, we're going to have more title changes. There's going to be a lot. But
there's definitely going to be a lot. There's got to be at least one where it doesn't change hands.
Right.
Next match, IWGP United States title on the line. Cody defending against Juice Robinson.
Yeah, I hope Cody holds it.
I think we're going to get another title change here.
I think so as well, because Cody is leaving them.
Yeah.
And I think they will want to strip him of the title because he's leaving. But I hope he's going to have it.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Next match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight title on the line. Kushida defending against Taiji Ishimori.
I will let you go first.
Ooh.
This is hard.
This is a hard one. Because I've heard rumors that WWE is considering signing Kushida to a contract. But is Ishimori ready for that title? That's the question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes, he is.
Okay, then I'm not. Then I'm going to say no title change.
Okay. Then we have our only match on the main card that is not a title match.
Can you believe that? The only match that isn't a title.
On the main card. It is Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White.
I'm going to go with Okada.
I'm going to go Jay White.
Really?
I think if you're going... Don't get me wrong. I love Okada. I love Okada. But if you want to develop your next top heel in the company, Jay White has to go over.
Okay.
He has to win this match. Then, the IWGP Intercontinental title on the line. Chris Jericho defends against Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah. Title change.
Oh yeah, this has got to be a title change. Naito's got to go over on this.
Yep, it has to. It's so. I think this is the easiest to predict.
Yeah. And then there is the big one, the main event.
Yes.
The IWGP Heavyweight title on the line. Kenny Omega will defend the title against the winner of the G1 Climax, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now before we make our pick, I want to bring up these two statistics. Since the beginning of the person that wins the G1 goes to main event for the title. Since that has begun, no one has yet to win the title.
I know.
However, no gaijin, which means foreign in Japanese for those who don't know, no gaijin IWGP Heavyweight Champion has retained the title in the main event
I
on the
know.
January 4th show.
I
So
know.
one of these two things is going to happen.
I know. Oh, this is so hard to predict. I'm going to stay with the champ.
Man, this is so hard.
Yeah, it's just by here. I go with the champ.
This is so hard.
I know, but I think I will go with the champ. I don't see any reason to get rid of him. They love him.
This is so hard.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're doing this 2 weeks away instead of like tomorrow.
That the pay-per-view was tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I'd be pulling my hair out right now. For the sake of being different,
Okay.
I'm going to go Tanahashi.
Okay.
But I would not be upset if Omega won. I would not.
No.
So, in 2 weeks, the day of, after this show has ended, Fro and I, we're going to record the first show of the season talking about that show.
It will be really live right after because you and me are watching this pay-per-view together.
Yes, we are. I just got to figure out what time I got to get up that morning, because...
It's early.
Yeah, I know. Because but here's the thing that's confusing. Because it says on the New Japan website, the door opens at 1500. That's 3 p.m. I know military time. So that would be 2 a.m. in the morning here.
Right.
The bell is at 1700, which is 5 o'clock. So that would be 4 a.m. in the morning here.
Right.
So I got to figure out what time I'm going to get up.
Well, do you want to see the pre-show or not?
I think I do.
Yeah.
To see, because the problem was with last year, and part of it was my fault, was I had my alarm set, but I sort of slept in a few minutes and missed the beginning of that Battle Royal. So that's where I messed up a little bit, but yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be an absolute blast, and I get a 3-day weekend out of that, so I don't have to go into work that day.
Nice.
I gotta put my leave in tomorrow, so I can do that. Do you want to real quick know what Meltzer rated the matches from Final Battle?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get that, because we did, or I...
Because I will rate them as well then. Because now I've seen it.
Yeah, because I reviewed it last week, and
Right.
you got a chance to watch it over the last week. So Kenny King and Eli Isom, he gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, I will give this a B.
All right. Jeff Cobb against Hangman Page, he gave it 4.25 stars.
Yeah, I would give it a B plus.
All right. The 4-way elimination match for the women's title, he gave it 2.25 stars.
Yeah, I would give that a C minus.
All right. Zack Sabre Jr. and Jonathan Gresham, he gave 4 stars.
I would give that an A. Love
Matt
that
Taven.
match. What a
Oh,
good
that was
match.
Oh my god. What a match.
Oh,
Matt Taven and Dalton Castle, he gave 3 stars.
I would give that a B+.
Marty Scurll and Christopher Daniels, he gave 3.25 stars.
I would give that a B.
Flip Gordon and Bully Ray, the I Quit match, he gave 3.75 stars.
I would give that a B-.
Jay Lethal and Cody, he gave 3.25 stars.
I would give that a A-. I really like that match.
And the Ladder Wars, he gave 4.5 stars.
I would give that a A+.
All right. Now, one last piece of news, and then we're going to get into our year in review. And that is this, and I'm surprised no one is talking about it on Facebook, because usually when this story comes out, it's pretty much broken on Facebook. The Wrestling Observer newsletter announced their class for the 2018 Hall of Fame.
Ah, cool.
In their newest edition. A quick reminder for everyone to get in, depending on the region that the individual is being voted upon, they must receive 60% of the votes to get in. This year, 7 people got in to the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame. So we will go from the smallest percentage to the biggest percentage.
Okay.
And they are Yuji Nagata. Yuji Nagata. What a... No, I'm just kidding.
Never heard of him. Okay.
Manager Gary Hart.
Is he one of the Hearts?
No.
Okay. Never heard of him.
The Fink, Howard Finkel.
Ah, good one. I like that one.
Famed wrestling magazine writer Bill Apter.
Oh, isn't he dead?
No, he's still alive.
Really? Okay.
Very much still alive.
Okay.
The Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, talking about people that's dead. Yeah.
Jerry Jarrett, the dad of Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
And leading the pack with 74% of the votes, L.A. Park.
Who?
The original La Parka.
I have no clue.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
But this is a very good group. 7 guys getting in.
Should I know who that was?
You probably should.
Okay.
Some notes I want to bring up. Kenny Omega, on his first year on the ballot, got 49% of the votes in his region. So he will be on the ballot again next year. Rick Martel, who was another new one, got 15%, so he's going to stay on the ballot. Edge got a really respectable voting. He got 50%, so I would not be surprised if we see Edge getting in the very near future. Some names that have fallen off the ballot because they got less than 10% of the votes from their region and will not be on the ballot next year include Samoa Joe, Paul Jones, Horst Hoffman, Ed Francis, Johnny Barron, Ruben Juarez, Universo 2000, Vampiro, and Steve Ricard.
Aw, Vampiro. Aww.
He's still waiting for his GD music. I'm not surprised with Joe, but it doesn't mean that he's not a Hall of Fame talent, I think.
No, he's
gonna get in. It's just a matter of when. It'll be a while, I think.
Here's a good question for you.
Uh-huh.
Who wrestling today on the WWE is a sure shoe-in for the Hall of Fame?
Right now.
Right now. I will go first. I
need some time.
AJ Styles. I see as a sure shoe-in.
Mhm.
I also see Daniel Bryan as a sure shoe-in. Triple H, I see as a sure shoe-in. Undertaker doesn't really wrestle. Well, he doesn't.
Well, he's gonna get in.
Yes. By the women's division,
I think Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah,
She's there.
I'm going to say Asuka as well.
I think, and this may surprise a lot of people, I think New Day's a shoe-in.
That's a good pick.
Really do.
Yeah, I think that as well. I'm going to say Randy Orton as well, sadly.
Yeah, he'll get in.
Sadly, he will.
Mysterio will get in.
Mysterio should be in, yeah.
Brock's gonna get in.
Yeah, sadly.
Although the problem with Brock is he'd have to do a speech in front of people. He's not a people person.
I've heard of it.
So.
Yeah. But right now, I think that's like
All right.
those are a shoe-in. Do you disagree of any of my picks?
For the moment, I'd say Asuka, but if you give her another year, I would say that she would be a shoe-in.
I think Asuka because of what she has brought in other parts as well. Not only like as a wrestler, but as one of their first really superstars from that area of the world. She broken a lot of open doors into the WWE in Japan.
Yeah.
That's also one of the reasons, not really about her wrestling abilities.
All right. Also, just want to mention, also dropped from the Observer ballot due to their 15-year rule and 15-year rule. Kiyoshi Tamura, Blue Panther, Red Bastien, Mr. Wrestling 2, John Tolos, and Cien Carras added to the ballot next year. These are some interesting names: Jose Lothario, Dick Slater, Morris Seigel, Bob Caudle, the Hardy Boys, the Valiant Brothers.
Yeah, that's a good pick. The Hardy Boys will be in the Hall of Fame as well in the WWE. Definitely.
George Kidd, Tomohiro Ishii, James Melby, Stephanie McMahon. Yes, she will be on the ballot next year.
Yeah.
Volador Jr. and the Grand Wizard.
The reason why I didn't say Stephanie in the WWE one is no McMahon is really in the Hall of Fame other than the father of them all,
Right.
the grandfather.
Yeah.
What was that noise?
Oh, that was my bottle of water.
Wow.
All right. So we're going to talk about now, for the rest of the show, the year in 2018. I think it is safe to say that this was an up and down year for wrestling.
Oh, definitely.
There were some good moments. There were some bad moments. A lot of,
Good
you know,
times, the
a
bad
lot
times.
of. I think we gotta dive into both. You know, the good moments and the bad moments.
I think my favorite moment of this year was last. Well, I'm going to call it this year's opening for me into New Japan Wrestling. That's definitely one of my. This is the first year I've been invested in New Japan Wrestling, and I have actually seen a lot of shows this year. This was a good year for New Japan.
Oh yeah, it was a solid year for New Japan.
Mm-hmm. It was the first time I watched a pay-per-view with you. It was really fun. The opening of the year.
And you got hooked.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
the thing.
Yeah.
I think I have two moments for me that defined this year in a good way for the business. The first one, Ronda Rousey's debut match
Oh,
at
definitely.
WrestleMania.
Oh,
Because we had no idea what to expect out of that match and what she was going to do. And she outperformed every expectation that we all had in that match. And then the fact that she got better along the way. Because there was that fear of, oh, she had that one good match and she could just coast on the rest of the time, when really she had a hell of a year for a rookie year. And I think her match had such a big impact on WWE that once they saw that performance, they're like, we just got to go all the way with her.
Yeah. I think my other moment of the year is Brock Lesnar. Yeah, no, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman this year has done so many good things. He's been a fresh breath of air for me this year in WWE land. He almost made me watch Raw every week just to see him.
Right.
Then they booked him into a corner, and I didn't care anymore. But it's still one of my favorite wrestlers of this year.
Yeah. My other moment of the year, and I'm going to go back to New Japan, because that's where you started, so we'll bookend with New Japan. Is Kenny Omega finally winning the IWGP Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
And the match that he had with Okada, the 2 out of 3 falls match, the fact they went over an hour, means a lot, I think. That he finally was able to win it, and he has proven dividends to the company since winning the title. He's had it for 6 months now. He's going to headline their biggest show in 2 weeks as the champion. That says a lot. It really does.
Oh, definitely. I couldn't agree more.
What was your least favorite moment of the year?
Raw.
If you had to pick one.
Raw. Well, just booking. WWE booking.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Like, even in the TLC match, like, there was things that didn't work because of the booking. Vince still being the boss.
Well, we'll see how much longer that goes.
Yeah.
I think the lowlight of the year has to be the entire controversy with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that was my second pick.
Because, we were dealing with an international situation, and it sort of really was an international crisis, if you think about it. And here's WWE stuck in the middle. And it's like, okay, well, if we go and we do this show, we're going to piss a lot of people off for doing this show. And then it's like, oh, if we don't go and we don't do this show, we're going to piss off an entire country and they're probably going to bomb us, even though they didn't. I think that situation got handled poorly on all accounts.
Yep.
I'm not saying WWE is the only guilty party. I think everybody involved is guilty of this. They all handled it the wrong way, I think.
Couldn't agree more. I had that on my list of things. The whole debacle. Another thing that I have on my list is making Brock Lesnar champion 16,000 times during the year.
It is the Brock Lesnar Memorial Championship.
Yeah, I mean, having him as champion is one of the stupidest things WWE has done during this year. Having a champion that's not there is hurting their brand so fucking much, and they have no clue how bad it is.
Yep.
And my third, and I know this is going to be a controversial pick, is WrestleMania.
Really?
Yes. And the reason why is not that WrestleMania was especially bad, but it was that they didn't fix the things they could have fixed with the bad booking in that show. They didn't push the reset button. They continued with what they thought was be a draw. And I will give you John Cena versus The Undertaker as a perfect example of what was wrong with this year's WrestleMania.
That's a good example.
Thanks.
You know, I'm gonna pick another low light, and this is just in general. I think wrestlers and social media is a low light on the year. Because there were some people who used it for all the wrong reasons and were saying all the wrong comments, and it just wasn't good, and it really didn't represent what the business is, what pro wrestling is. And I think that's a low light. And you know, with social media, it's like the internet. It's a blessing and it's a curse. The blessing is with social media, you get to state your own opinions from wherever you are to billions of people around the world. The curse is if you say something wrong or negative, you're going to get turned on, basically.
Right.
I gotta say, one of the funnier moments this year, and probably my favorite story this year, on talking about it on this show. And I know we say it, you know, we've said this a bunch of times, but it was a really funny story. Brian Cage and Melissa Santos.
Yeah.
Melissa saying that she loves Brian Cage's yummy penis. On social media. That was just out of the blue.
I think one of my favorite moments, and I'm sorry that I'm self-promoting, but my rant about Hell in the Cell is one of my favorite moments of this year. I was so angry.
That was classic.
Yep. So if you haven't heard that, go back and listen to a really, really angry Fro.
Let me look up what episode that was. I can find the answer.
I was so fucking pissed.
Oh, that was hilarious. I think you and I each had a rant that could be considered a Rant of the Year candidate.
Yes. Oh yeah.
The episode was okay, I think it's, which one was it? Oh, okay. No, that's not it. Okay, I thought that was it. Where the hell is it? I know I have it. Oh, here we go. Episode 357. That was a TNA ending.
Mm.
So if you want to go back, listen to Fro's rant.
Oh, so angry.
That's the episode where Fro's rant is, and my rant from Survivor Series is episode 366, Black Friday Blow Up.
Yes.
So you're gonna want to check those out.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. Oh, we gotta mention this. I think one of the big highlights of the year in wrestling in general is that a wrestling promotion not named WWE sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That is one of the biggest things, and I really don't think the wrestling community gets how big a deal that is.
No, I get it.
I mean, it's
big.
It's Vince's territory.
Yeah.
It's the Garden. You know, no other wrestling organization has ever been allowed in Madison Square Garden in the last 60 plus years.
Yeah.
And it's going to change this WrestleMania weekend this year.
Yeah.
How amazing is that? And it's sold out in like less than a day.
I have to say that one of my picks is Impact actually getting good this year.
What a comeback this year.
Such a good comeback. They have made me a fan of their wrestling show again. They have saved my drought when it comes to wrestling. I don't miss WWE because I have Impact.
And they had one of the better shows, I
Yes.
think, this year with Slammiversary.
Slammiversary is my pay-per-view of the year.
That was a tremendous show.
Love that pay-per-view.
Yeah. They had a really good year. I'd love to see the momentum carry on with them in 2019.
Homegrown looks like a really good pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
It's shaping up to be one of their better pay-per-views.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I'm trying to think. What else? What there's so much, and you got to remember, like, so many things that happen during.
Yeah, one thing I'm mildly disappointed of is NXT kind of losing their momentum.
Their takeovers are still great.
Yes, but it's so interesting. I'm still watching it. It's
Right.
still, but they are kind of losing me on their weekly thing. They need to, and this is kind of ironic. They need to have a cleaning in NXT soon. Mostly because people that are there are a little too good.
Well, that's why they're gonna put more new faces up on Raw and SmackDown every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. No, they need to build something new. I mean, NXT is a proving ground.
Yeah.
It's always been a proving ground. But now it's become a little. I'm going to use the word stale because the wrestlers that they have there is better than what they have on the main card. And that's saying something. I mean, why is not Velveteen Dream a pay-per-view draw for Raw or SmackDown? It doesn't make any sense. Why there's so many people down in that division that deserves their big break, and he's one of them.
I think if you're going to talk about disappointments, two guys that come to my mind are Enzo Amore and Big Cass. Enzo began the year as the WWE Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah.
He was on TV every week. And then he made a mistake, in all honesty. Let's just be honest. He made a mistake that he should have taken care of. And I really think his ego got the best of him. I really do.
I don't know if I agree, because he wasn't guilty, and it was so fucking proven that whatever that girl said was completely bullshit.
Right.
I feel more sad for him than disappointed, to be honest.
And then another one is Big Cass.
But Big Cass, yeah. Totally.
He, here's a guy when he came back from injury.
Right.
Had a high-profile feud with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, no, he fucked it up for himself.
And it didn't deliver.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting released. And unfortunately, right now, he's recovering from having a seizure a couple of weeks ago. And I really hope he does get better. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to talk about disappointments, those two would be there, because I really expected a good year for both of them.
I agree on one. The other one I don't really blame. I don't think it's Enzo Amore's fault for sleeping with a crazy bitch. It's true though. Like if you go and say something like I've been raped is a terrible thing to have happen to you. And destroying it by doing it for publicity is just fucking wrong.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm not saying it's not.
So I feel sorry for him. He did some wrong choices, but I don't really. It's not his fault all.
If you had to describe the year in wrestling for 2018, how would you describe this year?
Sorry? Say that one more time.
Okay. If you had to describe this year in pro wrestling, 2018, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as in one word.
Well, it doesn't have to be one word.
Well,
it could be more.
I will just say it like this. It has been a disappointing mess from Raw, but otherwise I'm quite satisfied.
I think if I had to describe this year, business-wise, it was a very good year. All the way around, especially WWE with the TV contracts. However, I think in general, the quality of match in general went down a little bit, but I do see a rainbow at the end, at the end of the Golden Bridge, and I see green pasture, and I see better days ahead for professional wrestling all around.
Yeah, as long as WWE gets their fucking head around and do some good changes, that's what we need.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the new year.
Yep. We will.
We really will. Just to give everybody a quick update on what we're going to be doing to start off the year. January 4th, we're going to review Wrestle Kingdom 13, the Tokyo Dome show. That's going to be our season premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Then November, January. Yeah, we're going to do our first show January 4th, and then we're not doing another show till November.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, really. Then January the 11th will be our 4th annual That Wrestling Award show.
Mm-hmm.
The nominees were announced earlier this week. You guys could check it out. Voting begins on December 26th. Then January 18th, we're going to do a show, but I think that's just going to be a relaxing week. And then January 25th is the big Royal Rumble preview show, as we will preview everything that is going to happen that weekend.
I think we're on the 11th. We'll talk about Homeground. Isn't Homeground on the 4th?
Oh, yeah, Homecoming. Yeah, we're going to review that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Let's get into the plugs. You can follow the show on Twitter at Wrestling Show 11. You can join our Facebook group. That Wrestling Show Fan Group is the name. You type that in the search bar. You are right there. And add yourself, and you will be added to the group. And, folks, we're coming up on Christmas. And I'm sure some of you are going to get some money this holiday season.
Money.
If you get some money and you're not sure what you want to spend that money on, why don't you donate to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Bill's World of Podcasts, where you get the best for your money, the best podcasts possible. So, Fro, what did you guys talk about on Another Digital Citizen this week?
We talked about the best and the worst TV shows of the week. Of the year, of the week. Yeah, we did that as well. Of the year, yeah. Some spoilers. Let's see. There was some really good TV shows, and there was some really good bad TV shows.
Enough for me.
Mm-hmm. And next week we will continue with our year wrap up and do best and worst movies of 2018. Then we will have a week off, and the first show we will do in January will be our most anticipated movies and TV of 2019. So we will preview 2019.
It better not be Aladdin with Will Smith. Oh my God! Did you see that picture of the genie?
I didn't.
Oh dear God!
I'm happy that he go out and he's like, no, relax. I will be animated and I will be blue.
And I will ruin the legacy of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say actually, one more thing to plug. I completely forgot. This Sunday, the newest episode of Eliminated, a Royal Rumble podcast. Consider this a Christmas gift from Jim Boy Star and I, as we will discuss the greatest Royal Rumble.
Last year's.
And that's right now. As of right now, it is our longest episode to date.
What is the best Royal Rumble?
In my opinion, I still say 92 is the best.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say on a serious note, this has been a tremendous year.
It has.
I believe this is the first year ever where, knock on wood, I did not miss a week because of health reasons. Like I said, knock on wood. We went into new territory this year. First time ever did a show on the road. Went to parts unknown. Had a good time. I think it's safe to say that's going to be an annual tradition now, where I do at least one show a year at parts unknown. Our Facebook group got bigger. We got to over 300 members, and you guys are absolutely fantastic. You guys rock.
Not you though. Not you.
Oh, well,
no.
All right, thank you. But in all seriousness, though, you guys do make doing this show a lot of fun to do each and every week.
You make me feel.
And I do want to say thank you, Fro, so much for doing this show. I know there are times where the wrestling just is a pain in the ass. And I know there are weeks where, you don't want to do this. But, in the end, we do it because we love it.
We love it. We love the good. We love the bad. We just love wrestling.
And I think it's safe to say that if you don't love what you're doing, then it's not fun anymore. And
don't do it. No.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. And we're not going to stop. Because next year is going to be a big year. We're going to reach another milestone. We're going to reach our 400th episode in the new year. We're going to have all this wonderful fun. We might even have merchandise next year.
Ooh.
So I'll keep you guys up to date on that.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone have a very Merry Christmas. Have a Happy Kwanzaa for those who celebrate Kwanzaa. Hanukkah already happened, so a belated Happy Hanukkah to our Jewish listeners.
Mazel tov.
And everybody all around the world, just want to wish you all a safe, healthy holiday season. And I hope that your 2019 is as good or better than your 2018 was. So, for the last time this year, for Fro, I'm Bill. This has been That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And until next year,
wrestle on!
Wrestle on! Down, wrestle on!
Wrestle on!
Oh, actually, Fro, I actually have to catch a flight. I got to go to exotic Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I finally made it. Only a few minutes to spare before I get on my flight to exotic Stamford, Connecticut. Oh, what's this? There's a karaoke machine. Oh, that's very unusual to be at an airport. I wonder what they got. Looks like there's a song set up. Let's see. Oh! Africa by Toto. Sure, okay, I got a few minutes before I hit my flight. I mean, this was popular. I'll sing it. I mean, Weezer made it popular again this year, but, I'll do the song. Alright, here we go. I hear the drums echoing tonight, but she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me towards salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some long forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is good. I'm much better than Weezer. Much better. The wild dogs cry out in the night, as long as they grow restless, longing for some solitary company. I know that I must do what's right, as sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. I'm gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Ooh. Oh yeah. Your flight to Stanford, Connecticut is burning. Oh, I don't care about a flight. I'm enjoying this. This is the last call. The last call to Stanford, Connecticut. Hurry, boy, she's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Oh, that was fun. Up. Better get on my flight now. Exotic Stanford, Connecticut. My flight to Stanford, Connecticut is leaving now. Thank you. Oh, you son of a... Now what am I going to do with the suntan lotion? Alright, I guess I'm stuck here till next year. I was going to go to the beaches of Stanford. That would have been a fun trip. Thanks a lot, Toto. And you too, Weezer. You jerks.